Great dancers are not great because of their techniques. They are great because of the passion they invest in the art of dancing. And dance in itself is the language of the soul. And you would wonder how this passion flows through the veins of dancers, leading them through years and years of consistency. On today's edition of Late Night Conversations, we are going to be looking at the pain behind the fame. We're going to be looking at some of the things that we do not see in the lives of these dancers who entertain us, who spill their sweat and blood to entertain us. We're going to be looking at the pain that they go through that they do not bring to the limelight. And that is what this show is all about. My name is Kamos and this is Late Night Conversations. Don't go away. You'll meet our guest right after this break. Hi and welcome back to Late Night Conversations with your favorite stars. My name is Kamos and the beautiful ones call me their sugar daddy. It's fine. All right, on today's edition, we are going to be looking at coping with fame, talking about the pain behind the fame. And our guest on this show today is one of Nigeria's best dancers, one of Nigeria's best dance experts. Yes, dancing is good, dancing is fun, dancing is entertaining. But then there are lots of things that you do not know that come behind that dancing, behind that passion. We're going to be looking at all of that today. Some persons have gone into their art, into their craft, and they excelled, of course. And we celebrate them. We always want them to perform. We always want them to entertain us whenever we see them, even on the road. Especially with people like comedians, you expect them to be laughing and cracking jokes on the road. But then you do not know the challenges that come with the art. Today we're going to be looking at all of this with our guest. With me today, make welcome Temisan. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Hi, great to be here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
When I look at when I pray and I remember you, I just ask God to bless me according to your size.
Now, so I get that a lot. Yeah.
God blesses me according to your size, I'll be very, very rich. I will grab. Right. So, where do you get that energy from? Because the people who are somewhat on the big side, so now carry yourself and jump and dance and stunt and all of those things.
I get that a lot. And people keep asking me, Temisan, how do you carry yourself? Like, you say your body na scam. When you look at it, can this guy move? But by the time you start moving, you can carry yourself. I think it's just basically one, I'm naturally a heavy set guy, big boned. And I think I've been dancing for so long. Let's call it, I can say
50 years.
Professionally for 20 years. Like, okay, this is what I want to do in my life.
Yes.
20 years.
Oh.
About 20 years. Like school, it's just something that I love doing. I know I was never a slim person. Okay. So anytime I was never a skinny person. I was always set, I was always active.
So why the dance? What actually motivated you to that craft? Why not music or acting?
And do you know the funny thing? When I was in school, I went to Ife and I actually did music arts, really, like singing and theater and all that.
So, but dance for me, dominated all of them.
Yeah, but for me, it was like, first it was like drama, acting, singing, and dance. But for some reason, dance was always something that anytime I hear, it was just something that came natural to me.
Wow.
Anytime I hear music, I just start, it was so bad that in school I'll be walking, then those days of Walkman and all those, and I'll be dancing, and people say, Temi, are you okay? Yeah, you're dancing on the road. I'm like, really? I'm actually dancing on the road.
Some years back, our dance queen, Kathy, won an award for, is it the longest dance? Yeah. So I can't remember the length of time she danced.
Yeah, it was like 2 days or a whole day plus. I remember that.
So how long can you? What's the longest you've ever danced?
Woo! I think I've danced overnight. That's the one I can do. I know when I was I danced from like 7 till like 5 the next day.
Wow.
And we're dancing. And the one thing about dance, then obviously there'll be breaks. Even the record breaking that she was there, I was privileged to be at that event too. Yeah. Though I was part of the crew, the backup crew. Yeah. Like I know all the friends, Steven and all of us. We are part of the crew, but when you're dancing though, it's like you're dancing. The music is the DJ as the music is coming. As it's changing.
Like panting and trying to catch your breath.
Yeah, we
losing your
do,
breath.
but it's a music and dance. When it comes to you naturally,
Something
it's
about
like
stamina.
there's something about it's a sport.
Yeah.
It's the same way you have footballers on the pitch. It's the way you have dancers. People know they rate us. Until they try, they know they rate us. But I've gone to let me just go on our side. It's like people call you. Oh, we want you to just do like a 5 minutes, 10 minutes. When you give them the idea, say isn't it just for that? I say can't do it now. Can't do it. It's easy. Can't do it now. But the truth of the matter is that when you are dancing and you are feeling the music, because it comes to you naturally, it's just coming. And you just say, oh, do you know you've been dancing for like 2 hours? Non-stop without knowing. Obviously you rest, you hydrate, but the music keeps feeding you, and music is a gift, is a talent, it's something that we love doing.
Because of that dance, is there somehow like you are dancing and at some point you have to stop to catch your breath and maybe take water? If you drink water and continue dancing, they do
now I'll say it all depends. It all depends on the concept. For example, people are in a club.
Someone like me would dance like 30 seconds and I'll finish 2 bottles.
Let me say, when I was in school and we used to do shows, you are doing first show, you're dancing, you're doing first show, you're doing second show, you can't even remember to drink water. You're sweating, you're changing your costume. So it's for a large extent, it's a craft that we've learned, and it's a skill we've developed over time. So if you are doing it like in a party, you might just say, okay, I'm not feeling DJ, I can sit down. But for somebody like us that studied it, it's something that we are used to, our bodies have adjusted to, so we do it frequently.
So at what point did you notice that people were beginning to see you as a dancer professionally?
Okay, I would have to take it back to my story. Like when I was in school, I was just doing it academically, so I just had this idea that, okay, let me just do something. Let me just do a show. So I did a dance concert when I was in school. A couple of people actually paid. I funded it. I was like, wow. Though the first one was a flop, complete flop. I used all my school fees, all my pocket money to do show. People did not turn up. I almost ran mad. But the truth of the matter is that, after doing it for a while, I started getting the response. I left school. I said, okay, let us enter the labor market. Let us do the normal 9 to 5, which I did. But for some reason, I think some people left school and say, Temi, you're too talented. Just do this thing and decide. And I was doing my 9 to 5. As I close for 5, I'm doing rehearsals. After rehearsals, weekends, I'm doing shows. I'm teaching school.
What 9 to 5 do you do? Banking?
No, funny enough, the 9 to 5 was media. Funny enough, I was actually a presenter on a TV show like this. I'm telling you.
Oh my wow.
Yeah, it's called,
you know what? Producer, we are switching roles.
it was actually a movie review show.
Yeah.
And I was just coming and I was just like, oh, get coffee, production hand, get coffee, type the script. So help us to organize the light. So it was something like this. And people who knew me, like, I think somebody caught me on Facebook. Like on Facebook, I put, it's like, to me, when did you have time to do this? I'm seeing your video. Is this not you? Like, he said, take this thing seriously. I said, so let us maintain status quo. Until one of my boss sent somebody, like, I just say, oh, my boss in the office, I really don't call his name. Okay, let me call him. His name is JJ, Jacob Akemi Johnson. I don't know, he's a wonderful presenter. I just say, sir, I'm doing a show, please come. I just put it on his table. It was in Unilag then. He couldn't come, but he sent some people. By the time they came, I said, this is your PA that you are still like this. The guy, they dance, and he was very supportive. And I would like to thank people in the media, because he gave me, when you're free, you can go for your rehearsals, you can go. And when I kept moving like that, I think, people started recognizing me. I remember when I traveled so far, I went to Port Harcourt one time, and I was with a famous Nollywood star at that moment. And people just said, hello. So naturally, I won't call the name of the star. So naturally, as he turned, I was thinking, this is the celebrity. No, hello. The person was embarrassed, like, oh no, it's you. Oh my God, you danced at our church. Can I have a picture with you, please? Told the Nollywood star, please hold the phone. I didn't even know whether I was happy. I was impressed. I didn't even know what was happening. He was like, okay.
That guy will not sit near you.
And funny enough, we are the closest of friends. We are the closest. We even did the video, and he was like, okay, it's your time. And I did not know. So it was
this, how would you define fame? How would you define fame, as it relates to you?
For me, as it relates to me, fame has many faces. It has its ups and downs. It takes a lot of maturity to manage it. There are the times where, you are so excited. Oh my God, people like you. People know your name. I've gone to people know your autograph. You think people don't know you, but people know you. People know you. And there's a high, but there are some lows. There are some lows.
Share some of those lows. That's what
Ooh, those lows are lows where you are dancing, you are jumping up and down. People know you, but shingbai no do your pocket.
correct.
I remember shots. I can tell you stories, but I can tell you the time.
You know what? We'll come back to those stories.
There are plenty.
We'll come back to those
You know, I
stories.
didn't have where your parents will have they have meetings say, what are you doing with your life?
We'll come back to that. Now, it's still late night conversations, and I still have with me Temisan, the dancer, the very great dancer. When we come back, he's going to be sharing some interesting personal stories, to, just give us a small peep into some of the hard times, the low moments that he's had. This is Late Night Conversations. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still Late Night Conversations with your guy, Kamos. All right, on today's episode, like before we went on break, we were talking about coping with fame. And I have with me Temisan. He was just going to tell us a nice story about one of his low moments in the fame. So you were saying something about not having money, but people know you and you could not afford anything, and then they will not call family meeting on your head.
Family meeting. Trust me, I know many dancers can relate. They see you in so many videos, they are dancing. I say, Baba don't hammer.
So, but
It's
when
not
you do
like
those,
that.
when you do those vixens in as dancing music videos, they should pay.
They pay. See, now when we started, these Gen Z guys, they are enjoying. When we started, you could come, you can shoot for days, a whole night, maybe 5K, 2K, transport money.
After
So they will even say, we are giving you exposure.
Yes.
And then because you are not a known person, you just wanted to just be on TV, you just
Oh.
want to be on video, you want people to see in Najizi, you want them to see them on all this.
So when you now finish and get home,
So
what
when you
do
finish
tell
and get home, by the time you do your transport, like you mean how you are doing all night into the day, and at the end of the day, you are transporting yourself home, and you have
What
nothing.
goes through your mind at that time?
See, when we started, I think I like that. It's about passion. The passion is what fuels you and pushes you. The passion is that this is what I love.
Because I would be thinking in my head, how do I go live into the next day doing the same thing when I still go home empty?
Now,
So does that emptiness play in your mind? And
for a creative generally, emptiness comes in many forms. In the sense that I will give you this particular experience. I said I was doing a 9 to 5, and after that, I think they were doing some reshuffling, and we kept moving from work to work. There are times I was teaching in schools. I'll teach in secondary schools. You do that co-curricular. After the midterm, school is saying, oh, they can't pay you now. They will pay you in the upper term. But you have to come. You can't say, you have to make your classes. You have to travel around, There are good days, but there are some not so good days. And you have parents who are like, what are you doing with your life? They expect you like, why not be a doctor? Why not be this? Why not even in this your line of creative? Why not be, do a structured job? But the thing is that every time I heard music, every time I saw dance, there was always something. And at the end of the day, we had an intervention. I just came and I walked into my family sitting down. It was like I was on drugs. They're like, they don't know where I'm going to. They just called me, like, I just walked there, but I just saw my sister, I saw my mom. So, like, what's going on? What are you doing with your life? I had to defend my actions.
what was the defense?
I'm like, this is what I love. It's what I love.
Just
It's what
that.
makes me happy. Say it's what makes me happy. You know how you talk. I say, what's makes me happy? Like, look, you're not a child. You have needs. 5 years from now,
So your
10
dad
years
was
from now.
telling you this in your...
It's actually my mom.
Oh, your mom.
Like this, my sister was like, see, my sister at the point was in the bank. So technically, she was my younger sister, she was earning more than me, definitely. So you're like, I said, look, you are you. I am me. This is what makes me fulfilled.
I would say your parents are also part of the Gen Z parents, because you will not tell that to my father.
No, I will still give them credit. I will give them credit because when going to school, they're like, okay, this is what you love, because I've always been a dramatic person. Growing up as a child, all those dance parties, all those
winning prizes, winning plate of prize.
My goodness. I was in drama group in school. I was in this, I was in that. So they saw it. So they just said, okay, if this is what he wants to do, fine. But after some time, they're like, okay. I remember my mom saying, this is your passion.
Okay.
But can your passion
Feed you.
feed you? Can your passion meet your needs? And I won't lie to you, that was a question I couldn't answer. But I kept pushing. It was so bad.
How has this passion, affected some important things in your life? Like, are there certain things you've had to sacrifice painfully for the passion for dancing?
I remember on 2 occasions,
Yes.
I had a concert that I was spearheading in Ibadan, University of Ibadan.
Yes.
And I put in, you know how you just put in for a job, just randomly. And on my way to Ibadan, I got this call. This interview is happening tomorrow. Temisan, show at such a place. I said, I'm the one leading a show.
Meanwhile, you have to go back.
I have to go back to Ibadan. I said, I'm sorry. You know how you are the one leading the dancers to the event? They came because of you. How? As in, they don't, out of the interviews tomorrow, I had to make a choice. Are you going to go for this interview? Or are you going to say, guys, I'm sorry, we're going to cancel this concert? I said, no. We went to Ibadan. I did the tour, Ibadan, Ile-Ife. It was like a 3-day tour. Came back. Now said, sorry, that interview. I said, no, that ship has. And it hurt, but I knew I made the right choice. It was painful. Another one came. Oh, it was painful. In short, it was another one where somebody was looking for a PA.
Yes.
And said, oh, these are the benefits. You're going to be PA to this top person. This, your pay will be so figures.
Yes.
Or do you have an international passport? And honestly, I will not lie. No, it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Former government.
If it was in this government, I don't know if I would have gone that route. But
I was just thinking of how I'm going to press your neck.
Trust me, that time, and I don't know. So maybe it's one of those decisions I sit back and think, what was I on?
For dance.
What was I on till today? Sometimes
You're lucky I'm not your father.
It was like, funny enough, it was even something that I say, oh, why? Your name, Temisan Ikomi. Oh, you're from Niger Delta. Oh, the person is even looking for your spec. Wow. Yes. The person, I'm looking for your tribe. Oh, yes. The person is this. Gave me something. They need someone from Niger Delta. It was something. They're going to be a PA. Do you have an international passport? But for the life of me, I think I was on the project. For the life of me, it just didn't look. You know how at the back of your head you're saying, this is your PA work you want to do now. Following him around, carrying his bags and traveling. I wasn't sure if it was politics or just where you are going to find fulfillment. I had to ask myself questions. Are you looking at the money? Because that is important. Or are you looking at the fulfillment? Is this what you want to do? Is this what's going to make you happy?
What bills were you paying as at that time?
My brother, maybe I was seeing my parents out. So, but even at that,
now you see why.
No, wait. I was my parents' house, but I was still transporting myself, or still feeding myself, or still. Wait, it's just the house. Luckily, the house I still had in my room, my brother's house. But it was a defining moment. I had mates who were leaving their house. They're saying to me, leave your house, do this. But I looked at it. Is this my purpose? I had to pay.
So which of those would you consider the biggest price that you've had to pay for dancing? Or is there another biggest price that you've had to pay because of your love for dancing?
For my love for dancing, now apart from the love for dancing, it's more like purpose. Purpose, fulfillment. Those things are, in my life generally, there are 2 things: purpose, fulfillment. Funny enough, meeting my bills was the last 2.
Wow.
Ironically, because I looked at it the other way around. Meeting my bills first before. I know people. I've been in a job. Let me even give an instance. I was in a job where I was doing a corporate job. Like, I sat down, and no disrespect to people who carry files. I was writing memos. I was in a corporate affairs office. It was just for 6 months. I was transferred from the creative department to the corporate affairs department. The most miserable days of my life. Miserable. I was attending meetings. I didn't even know what they were saying. I was typing memos. I was everything I did not like.
Wow.
The money was good though. I was being paid. But you know how people say things like, oh, I left a so job to do this. And I said, Bobo. It was funny. I was miserable.
This would actually answer some of the questions about how people we think are successful eventually get depressed, fall into depression, and then eventually take their life. There's this guy, I can't remember his name now, with Helen's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the DJ guy.
Ooh.
You know.
Oh, I know him. I followed him on Instagram.
Yes.
I followed his career. Boss. What's his name?
Twitch. Yes, Twitch.
Boss, yeah.
Wow. So, how far? I know that you have come far with some of the things you've had to let go for the dance. How far are you still willing to go? For instance, if you were given an opportunity, another bigger opportunity for you that will make you leave dance for a while and then maybe follow that opening, is this something is it a chance that you're willing to take?
Yeah.
But there's some kind of money you will see, you will leave dance for.
When you say this, it has to be
Temisan,
something.
join me to US and earn in dollars.
Doing what? Let me just
now, you'll be in the media space. And then
let's take media space.
Yes, media space.
Something I love. Yes.
You are not dancing, and then where you also have the opportunity to bring your family along and Japa.
Anyway, the truth is, being where I am now, fine. I dance. I also mentor young people.
Yes.
I teach young people. So at this point in my life, I could say, I could do something passion related. It's still media. As I said, I started off in media, so it's also a passion. I'm also diverting to other things like writing scripts, directing, getting young people, training. So at this point in my life, I can diversify.
Yes.
But dance will always
living it entirely.
Living it entirely. You know, people already know me with this. So I will even give you one story. Like I did, a friend of mine, Nikilawe, had a music video.
Yes.
And then I think I was just like, was a bit. She was like, "Oh, don't worry, I can send people to do the video." She said, "No, I need to be."
Yes.
I said, "Look, I added even some more weight after the pandemic." I said, "Temisan, I need to see you." So I was just hiding in the back.
Yeah.
I did not know that somebody else an artist from Israel.
Wow.
So oh, I need this guy in my video. So there were some young dancers, agile dancers. I said, "No, I need that guy in that video. I like his body type is inclusive of another demographic.
Something that
they want." And okay, I think
Right after this break, Temisan is going to be telling us what his benchmark for success is. Stay tuned. It's still Late Night Conversations. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. It's still Late Night Conversations with Kamos, and I still have my friend here with me, Misan, the dancer. Now, I was just going to ask, just this question before we go to other questions that I have for you.
Okay.
What would be your defining moment for success? Say the moment where you will consider yourself successful in dance, in the art of dancing.
In the art of dance, I think for me, as I said, I've always been dancing since I was in school.
Yeah.
And for me, again,
I'm not paying bills.
But now, I would say now, I would say my hallmark is the balance of it.
Okay.
The passion is there, the recognition is there, and the finance is there.
Okay, when you say
to
finance,
like now you are being properly appreciated for what you do.
So for whenever you dance, you're paid enough to be able to afford a Mercedes
for our kind of work, and every creative can testify to a very large extent.
Yes.
I always say that in the cadre you have the actors, the singers, these dancers are just. I would say, let me just say this: dancers are just getting recognized now.
Yes.
It's been a long journey. Big ups to Kathy. I always give her recognition. Kathy, many dancers, Wale Robber, many people in the industry. We've come a long way. It was not like this before. You just come, you dance, they just give you Zobo drink, transport. But now, you can't do a launch, you can't do a program without getting dancer. It will be boring. Even working out. So for now, I would say my benchmark is that sense of fulfillment, that sense of recognition, and getting your worth. Now again, you can't really get your worth, but getting someone say yes, you see us demanding certain amounts, are like, okay, we'll give you as a dancer. So really, way back then it wasn't simple. Say for what? But now you say, yeah, I'm going to be and dancers are evolving to be creative directors. So even if they're not dancing, they are getting dancers. Just give a dancer, say, okay, organize my event. I see dancers talking about millions. I say, yes, I will put your money where your mouth is. I say, okay, let's do this. Put for fitness, also for fitness. Because apart from the dancing, dance is a form of exercise. So you have the fitness people. So there's so much diversification for me.
Now, going into some other side of the dancing career and the experience, how would you describe those low moments that really affected you, touched you deep down, maybe depriving you from your passion or denying you from, doing the things that you wanted to do as a dancer?
I would just say this as a disclaimer. Many dancers are going through a lot of things. You see many dancers that they've washed their hands. You want to dance, they're no longer in this house. I see dancers staying with friends, being chased away from home because they are found
that they
chose dance. They are found like outcasts, dropouts, and all that. But there were lows like that, and there are many lows like that. But thank God, as I said, that the dance industry is now getting the recognition it needs. Just like how comedians are getting, entertainment in Nigeria is catching up to other places in the world. But before then, for me, I think many times, as I said before, that I was given an intervention, my family just gathered me and asking me some hard-hitting questions because I had needs. I was always broke. You can't come and borrow, and I'm the person always borrowing. I never had money. And like, you are moving around Lagos, you never had money. I remember a particular time when my mom told me, and I never forgot this date. I love her to be, but she said it was the 1st of December 2016. 2017, sorry, 1st of December. And my mother called me and said, Temi, my son, today I'm a mother and I just want to talk to you. This dancing that you are doing, where is it going to? I know you studied it, but diversify. You're not a child anymore. Before you used to dance in videos, I used to be proud of, that's my son, but now I'm getting ashamed. Why you just dance, jumping up and down? They say your son is a dancer. Is that a career? Yes, it was good for a certain age, but you're no longer a child. My mom had this conversation, was a 1-hour conversation on the phone. I wanted to lash out, I wanted to drop the phone. Some said, be quiet. And she spoke and she spoke. She would say, are you there? I said, are you there? She said, you're not saying anything. I said, I'm listening to you to finish. Then she now said this one. As a man, who will ever marry a dancer?
Wow.
She told me that question. That was it.
Did you think about it?
See, when you can't even take care of yourself, where you want marriage, where you want toast to be, how?
Because you have a lot of people that will come to you.
That's the
fame. That's the sweet part of it now.
The fame is just, if you look, most dancers, majority of dancers sometimes they marry
somebody
that they know will understand them, that have the passions, and sometimes that is a 50-50. Because if both of you are broke, both of you are looking at yourself, that love is no longer there. But you probably, most of the time, people are always telling me, I always believe I would marry a dancer because I felt that was the only person that could understand passion or stay creative.
Now you're married.
Now I'm married. That gist.
You will tell me what you told her.
That gist. But I would say that is one. That was a very low moment. I had to rewrite everything that I loved suddenly.
Came back
there was no joy in it. It was like, wow. I was always broke.
So after that phone conversation,
you had to go
into deep thoughts to think about the whole thing.
Of it. I was sad. I was miserable. I think 2 days after, my mom called me back and said she apologized. I didn't say anything. She just apologized.
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. She just called me back and said, I'm sorry. I think I overstepped. Because you didn't, as in, God was with me that day. She said, as she dropped the call, something spoke to her and said, how dare you?
Wow.
So, and my mom is a very strict woman, but trust me,
She
called me back and she said, how dare you say who would marry a dancer? Are you God?
Wow.
She told me that. And I said, God, you fought for me, oh, because as me, I was done short. I said, I'm not going to call her because 1st of December, I remember that day.
Wow.
Because it hit me.
So what was she like by the time you came home to give her the news that you were getting married?
This is the talk. Let's say talk. Now, I will tell you of another instance, but let's get to this.
Yes.
So in my brain, you know when you have a dance group and you're dancing, you see a lot of girls. Oh my God, you can dance. Oh my God, you're so muscular. I like your body. All those girls are chingom girls, Unilag girls. All those, oh my God, buy me credit, buy me that. Baba Bagbe. This is not the spec. You know, you have some young girls. Oh, let's go out. Let me enter your car. Let's go. I said, see, his wife I'm looking for. And I somewhere in my brain, I thought I was going to marry a dancer.
Yes.
Until somebody come and said, oh my God, there's this girl. She's always going to walk house. Temi, I know you're a bubbling guy. Please come and call this girl and just give her dance classes. I say, dance classes. Will she pay me? I'm looking for money. She will pay. Don't worry, she will pay. I called the girl. Hello, hi. My name is Temisan Ikomi. I'm a dance instructor. Hello, hi. Do you know how to swim? I say yes, and I swim. I do physical. This and I teach. Say okay. Let us meet at such and such a place. We met there. I saw the girl. Okay, girl. Nice girl. 9 to 5 girl. She was walking. I said okay. So you know how? Okay, so this is the pool. I take 5K per hour. I said for what now? Am I my girl first? What are you teaching me? I'm like, no, this is my race. So we now said,
she was going to teach you.
I was the one teaching her
swimming.
Both dance and swimming. So we just met somewhere in Keja. Like, okay, this is the pool.
Yeah.
You pay for both of us to. I don't have a pool in my house.
Okay.
So you pay for the pool, I will meet and everything. So we started discussion. Do you know it was supposed to be like a formal business meeting?
Yeah.
Discussion. So your days, which days are free for you? Okay, weekends. And that's how we're talking. Oh, do you want a drink? No, I'm okay. So what do? Do you have time to really do this? Do you know we spoke for 4 hours?
And left the swimming one at home.
We no put clothes. And we are talking. Okay, and this. Okay, nice. I kept looking at the time. But you know how? 1 hour. Oh, sorry, am I talking too much? Because this is how I talk. What am I talking? She was just looking. Can you talk now? Oh, I'm okay. So what do you do? Oh, I'm an accountant. Okay, that's nice. Okay, take your number. So when do we meet again? Okay, maybe we start our classes next week Saturday. The next Saturday came. Oh, I have a wedding. I don't know. Would you like to come? I said, okay. That's how I came for the wedding. We were doing everything apart from that swimming class. But they also. But apparently, she was always fascinated. She was like, oh, I would like to come to your next dance event. I'm like, really? Will you have the time? She said, no, I can make out time. And they're talking. You know when you just go home and say, what just happened? And by the grace of God, by the time we started the show, by the time I heard the voice, say,
did you eventually teach her that swimming and dance?
On our honeymoon.
What a damn man. Now you guys can see the
on
problem
our
I'm dealing with here.
honeymoon. Because I would like to, before we left, we had one fight though.
Yeah.
Before he said, so we know we are going to get married now, tomorrow. I still don't know how to dance. We really dated for like 6 months. Because let me tell you something that happened. I always tell this to my very close friend. You know how they're trying to recruit the baby? She's a corporate babe. She didn't care. What endeared me to her.
Versus radical.
Radical, very corporate. She was very well put together. And she came to my car. Dancers now. Shirt one side, radio one side, shoe one side, smelling boxers one side. Just came. I said, I have work to do. I said, what's that? She said, I have work. She just said it to herself. I have work to do. I said, which type of work? No, leave me, like, take me as what I now started throwing things around. So please, can you take me to, I was living in the Aja area. Oh, can you take me further? I didn't have fuel. But I said, I can pour my hand. And now drove. That's how we finished. On our way to Shangotedu. Well finished. Hey, the shame of it all. I just said, oh, what's happening? I said, well finished though. And now to Jekan. Really? Okay. Do you have cash? I have to use an ATM. Oh, how much? She just give me
money.
Just, I'll wait for you. She locked the door. Is the car safe here? She hated. Trust me, I have friend girls wey as the car finish, bye. Their house, no, and that was in the night. She waited in the car. She wasn't scared of her safety.
Yeah.
I went. When the phone came back, sure, that was one. I like, wow.
I think it's part of the reasons why you forgot about the dance and the swimming lessons.
The swimming lessons.
And they went for other
when
things.
we went, by the time we were doing honeymoon, she said, when I dance, because I had this philosophy that on my wedding day, this wedding that they say, when will you marry? When will you marry? On my wedding, there's no woman born of a man that will dance more than me. I would dance fire. Fortunately and unfortunately, God gave me a wife that could not even really dance at all. So
you're not shine.
On the wedding day, they were say, Temisan, calm down. Give them.
You know, when we went on break,
you
were hinting me on a particular time that was also part of the low moment when you couldn't dance for some reasons for a while. Tell me about it.
That was another career low. The lowest of the low. As I said, I've been dancing for like a long time, and the pandemic hit. It's just I had like 3 shows.
And that happens to be recently, like
2020, 2021. You know, and the pandemic hit, and all my shows, all my events cancel. They still say, oh, they will try and wear face masks for the wedding events, cancel. Oh, reality show Temisan cancelled. So this is how Temisan was sitting at home. I was already married, paying bills, nothing. So I was just at home. My wife is still an accountant, so they were still working remotely from home. So nothing much had changed. But for me, I'm a people person. I'm going for events, no money. I was just at home. I was trying to exercise. I didn't wait. And it was really, my wife was always trying to encourage me, don't worry, it's going to be better, just for a meantime. But it was so in my brain, I kept saying, if something like this happens, what do I have to fall back on? What do I have to fall back on? And it was until one day I was at home and I just had a sharp pain at my back. Trust me, I've danced for concerts, I've danced for shows, I've gone on tour. I have never felt that pain before. I thought it was a joke. Oh, just massage. I massaged, I did everything. It lasted for like 3 days. I had to go to the hospital. And I read up something, say, oh, it's possible a disc slip. Like one of my discs, I said it's not possible. At what age? How? What did I do? Even in the height of my active years, I've never broken a leg, I've never had a sprain. I was always very on my toes. So they said, what happened? They just said, oh, they now did the x-ray, nothing is broken, nothing is slipping, but you've added a lot of weight.
Because of the lockdown.
Because of the now ask me, what are you doing? What have you not been doing that you were doing before? I dance. They said, really? You dance? Because I'd really put on. Trust me, think I'm big now. Trust me. I was actually in love with do you really dance? You need to lose a lot of weight. And that was depressing.
And of course, there was lockdown and you couldn't.
As long as there's nothing I could do. I used to run, I used to jog, but I was depressed. All my clothes couldn't fit me. Sometimes I don't like going out. My wife is slim, portable lady. And sometimes when you say let's go somewhere, it can't fit. I just said, I'm not going. I didn't want to go out.
Wow.
I wasn't happy. Something that I love doing. I didn't like meeting people. People are seeing me now smiling. Before I can just be in my house.
So you stayed indoors all through?
I stayed indoors because again there was no event.
Wow.
My wife was always in the morning. She has gotten to her laptop. She's working. I'm just there looking.
When we come back from this break, you're going to tell us how you came back up from that very low moment. It's still Late Night Conversations, and I have with me Temisan. When we come back from this break, we are going to bring our box for him to do his random pick. We'll ask him some difficult questions that he can't run away from. Late Night Conversations will be right back after this break. Welcome back to Late Night Conversations with your favorite stars. And our favorite star today has been Temisan, the great dancer. And just before we went on the break, he was going to tell us about your coming back from that very low moment. Just quickly hint us on that.
Quickly, what I would say is it was a very low moment. I couldn't do what I was doing. I was adding weight. I was broke.
Yeah.
But I thank God for my wife.
Yes.
I thank God for my partner. I thank God for my friend.
Wow.
We fight a lot of insecurities. Can I make it 10 years from now when I can't dance? 15 years from now when I can't dance? What will I do? Am I talented enough? Am I good enough? Do people recognize me? So all those things we're going to do. The pandemic just already brought to the surface all those things that I was fighting with. Oh, I don't look like a dancer. Oh, I'm not slim like A and B. I'm not as popular. You know, I'm known in these small circles, but how can I really get to where I'm going? And the pandemic just like, you see what we are saying.
So it lasted through that pandemic.
It lasted throughout that, there was no job. But again, I had a very supportive wife, a very understanding wife, who was always encouraging me, like, don't worry, everything will be fine. And when the job started coming, you know, I was now, find also to lose some weight. So I was making attention. My wife was like, let's go together. All the people that are slim, they don't know how to carry pain. Yeah. But she was just naturally, you know, at the end of the day, she was always encouraging me. I'll get up, I'll jog. I had to buy some weights, buy some things in the house. And at the end of the day, I felt the relief and the job started coming. Social media also helped though, because then people are now online. You now have to put your things online. And I started this thing called Moves with Temisan. It's an Instagram handle and also on YouTube too, where Moves with Temisan. And in my house, I was now teaching people how to dance. And I just started playing with it. I'd be like, oh, this is nice. I want to learn how to dance. Oh, since you can't come to so and so place, do a video, send to me. And I've done for a lot of people. If for another,
for it,
and so we pay for, we love it. Oh, Temisan, say account details. Oh, Temisan, I'm doing much small shoots. Can you just come on this location? I did a couple of movies during the pandemic. I did a couple of dance videos during the pandemic that released after the pandemic. And they're like, oh, you really do this? Oh, you should do this more often. And contact, our work is word of mouth. One person tells one person, we don't have billboard, we don't have, it's just word of mouth. And when you are consistent, and I thank God for consistency. Just keep doing what you are doing. At the point, people will just pay for your experience. Just what busted my head was someone say, oh, just come and talk about dance to a couple of people. I know how much I was paid that day.
Wow.
Just come and talk. I did not dance one thing. They say, oh, by the time you tell them stories, I'm saying, you young people, it's not that I just want to buy iPhone. No.
An enlightening one. So on this segment, before we just leave you guys, we are going to put Temisan on the hot seat.
Hotter than
you remember that box that I've forgotten. I don't want to call the box the name I called it before we came back. So let me just bring the box. Yeah. So welcome to the random pick.
Random pick. Wow.
Yes. So I'm going to open the box. We have a lot of questions written on the papers. So you pick one at a time. You give it to me. I will read out the question and you will give us the answer. Anyhow, you shake it.
Hey!
All right. What is the one thing your business venture did that you didn't expect? You see, this one is a good question. What is that one thing that this dance did that you didn't expect that would come from dancing?
There are a lot of moments that I didn't expect. But
I know one that he did for you.
Is it?
You brought your wife.
Yeah, I brought my wife. Oh, see, you've been listening. Because I came to do work. I didn't know that. God was saying, please, boy, hook up.
Correct.
Hook up.
Sharp guy. Get the next one.
The next one. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's so for those of you dancing out there, if you're a guy like me that I've learned today, when you go out to dance for clients, don't just stick your head to the dance. Think about the clients too,
The irony is people think that when you dance every time everybody's coming alive.
So what is the top dating pet peeve? What is your top dating pet?
I think I speak for many men when you are still in talking stage. hello, how are you? We are still talking stage. And
So what would be the doing stage?
no, wait. No way. We met once. You are telling me all your family problems. And you're asking me for recharge. You're asking me, oh, my bill, my brother is sick. Uncle, now we just met like we just started talking.
Somebody in Ghana
For
said
me.
that is it Ghana or somewhere? Somebody posted and said dating Nigerian girls can be somehow. You don't know if they need what do you call it? Palliative.
No, because I know it sounds off.
Yeah.
But two things. I don't know if people still do it because I'm sorry, I'm off the market. But when you're dating someone and parents are like, oh, let us meet somewhere, and you bring a friend, bring 3 people. I'm like, do people still do stuff like that?
Let's have this.
So yeah, as well.
So when you see people like that, you
no, just come and you're already telling me so many things.
That you have to recharge.
This, that, yeah.
Now,
Hey.
this question, if you get it right, is the prize for you.
Oh yeah, hit me.
Producer, get ready. Which planet has the most moons? Ooh. See, when your mates are in the classroom, you'll be dancing up and down.
Lajota.
You'll be dancing up and down. You will not enter class to do jigger. If you get, producer said, if you get this question right, you're walking away with 100,000 naira.
You did
Which
not
planet has the most moons? Yeah.
I will just do a random pick
See?
and say
Enter class, you know enter class. You go and dance.
Uranus or Jupiter.
Eh?
Uranus or Jupiter.
Sorry, none of the above. Saturn. Pick the next
Ah, the one with the rings though. Oh, it's the one with the rings.
Pick the next one.
Somewhere in my brain, that one did not
It's good you did
It's
not
the
win
one
it because
with the
there's actually
rings.
no 100,000 naira anywhere.
Oh, we go drag am. We go take am, we go do shit. It scatter everywhere.
What has been your favorite job you've held aside dancing? Your favorite job?
Favorite job.
I know the favorite job that you have that is aside dancing. Me, I know. Home service.
But again, let's do that job. That one comes with first.
Wait.
Ibaka. Sorry, we are moving on. The favorite job.
Say the favorite job you just. What was that job? Which job is this one?
Leave it.
Yeah. I hope the kids have gone to bed.
They've gone to bed. Oh.
Get the next question. But you know your madam will watch this.
Yes,
so she knows that favorite job. So why did you leave the job now?
No, we are still active service.
What a damn.
Active service. We died here.
Okay. What Netflix show had the most streaming views in 2021? This is another question that comes with great price.
Netflix show 2020
comes with iPhone when you get it right.
Most streaming, is it Extraction?
Nope. One more try. Had the most views in 2021.
Nigerian movie. Can I have clues now? Nigerian or foreign?
Foreign.
2021.
But run things about it. You can't carry though. You can't carry.
Game.
Squid Game.
Get
the next one. All right. So this will just be the last one.
Oh, really?
Yes. So after this one, we will be signing out. It's been fun having you on today's episode.
Awesome.
Right. Okay. What would you do if you were the opposite gender for 1 week?
I've never really thought
Considering
of
that you are highly grabbed.
Hey!
What a damn.
Let's see my brother.
No. Let's say you're not married.
Hey! I don't know be welcome, but honestly though,
for 1 week.
For 1 week,
yeah.
Pepper
You already
them
do your
gang.
body
Pepper them gang. Give all those slay queens they run for their money. But we get iPhone. No, I don't know. Are
you going to go to places like Sanusi Fafunwa or Babiala?
No. We will have your class.
Your class.
But I don't know.
So 1,004 be that. All right, thank you
Oh
very
my
much, guys, for
goodness.
being with us on this show, and thank you very much for coming.
It's been a pleasure.
It's
bro.
been an awesome time.
Awesome.
Listen,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
for saying I learn dancing, but I have this one pack I have to deal with.
Don't worry, we
So
are together.
it's one hefty
All
pack.
right,
All right, before we sign out, just let us have your social media handles so that people can reach out to you. And I hope you check your DM.
I do.
So you see things. Only when we talk about that some other day, I know that this guy sees some crazy things in his DM. They don't even care if he's married. So give us that social media handle. You will get more this time around.
Okay, my name is Temisan Ikomi. You can follow me on all my social media handles at Temisan Ikomi. That is TEMISANIKOMI, or Moves with Misa on Instagram.
With Misa.
Moves with Misa.
I think that's one that they will remember quickly.
Moves with
This
Misa,
one we
yes.
spelled just now.
Temisan Ikomi.
Ikomi.
You
Yeah.
can probably see it across your screen. But Moves with Misa, you can always see me, see my work, and see what I do.
Thank you very much. It's been an interesting time with Temisan.
Yes.
You know, he is a dancer.
Yeah.
He has gone out there. He has seen it all, the downtime, the lowest moments, and he's back up. Yeah, I know he mentioned to us about a time when Momsi said, how is he going to cope with marriage, dancing? Is he going to ever get married? And today, he is happily married.
Very happy.
So that thing you're doing, don't ever lose hope on it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Consistency. The world goes round, and one day is going to be your turn to shine. Thank you for watching. And when we come back, I would be saying a few more things before we sign out. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. It's still Late Night Conversations with your favorite stars. And today on the show, we had one of our very own dancer, one of our very best experts in terms of dancing. His name is Temisan, and he's taking us through his journey from grass to grace. It's been an interesting time, and I want to believe that those of you out there watching who are talented in one thing or the other, in music, in sports, in anything you can think of, I want to believe that you have been able to get that encouragement to move on with what you're doing, staying tuned with your mind, with your talent, staying in tune with your passion. It doesn't get easier, it gets tougher, but then there is always something good at the end of the tunnel. You never can know how much you can do until you're pushed to it. But don't wait to be pushed. Push yourself, and you surely get there. It's been a nice time on today's edition. Follow me on my social media handles at Kmos_Michael, and you can follow us on the social media handles showing right now on your screen. And next week, we promise we're bringing you another interesting guest to talk about a topic that you'll never forgive yourself if you miss it. It's Late Night Conversations. It's bye for now.